Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. EA did something that none of us were expecting yesterday for the start of Ratings Reload. Release an SBC so cheap that literally almost everybody is doing it. And this might be labeled SBC of the year, and we might be remembering this card for months down the line in FC 26. It is absolutely destroying prices on the market, but we stay making coins even in the market that is dropping. We're going to talk about that today. And bigger news even than this SBC is the fact that EA dropped our first silver tournament of the year that opens up today. We thought we were waiting for the World Tour Silver Superstars League. Alas, that's not the case. Starting today is the Silver Warm-Up Exhibition, but it's max chemistry mode and it's also co-op. So we're going to talk about silver prices as they should be going up, but this will give us the first chance of playing a silver tournament since way back when in the older FIFAs. So we'll get those teams ready. We'll talk about the silver market and we'll look forward to what else is coming today on Saturday. If you guys are excited for it, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, we're going to start with yesterday's content, but first, what we have to mention is the gameplay update that was put out. That was that patch 1.0.4 that basically makes the Bruiser playstyle a whole lot more usable. Again, I've only played a couple of games, so I can't speak too much on it. I'm sure you guys have been playing FUT Champs. Those of you that have been have probably noticed the difference there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Now, this is probably the biggest piece of news from yesterday in terms of gameplay. EA literally confessed, I guess is what you would say, that last weekend in FUT Champs, the matchmaking was messed up. And that's why a lot of people were able to get very easy 15-0s. You maybe saw the 15-0 with the full bronze squad. That may not be possible now because they literally addressed an issue that the form aspect of matchmaking last week in FUT Champs was messed up. And they said, now this weekend, you should be matchmaking with players who are similar in form to you. So I guess last weekend was like open matchmaking to some degree. And a lot of people are saying this weekend, it is a lot more difficult. 1.6 million views on this tweet, guys. Crazy views and numbers on some of these tweets that EA is putting out. With them releasing more communication this year, it's just crazy to see some of the numbers those tweets do. Some of the ones we like and we don't like at the same time. So I'd love to hear your comments on FUT Champs. I'm only 2 games in. I'm 1-1, so we'll have plenty more to play this weekend. But let's start with yesterday's content and objectives, where EA released a ton of SP. We love this. First of all, we have the Red Bull Aerial Challenge here, which gives SP as a group reward. I also believe 1,500 SP for this. You get the Red Bull kit and an Aerial Fortress Evolution playstyle there, and some other stuff inside of this. So it's actually worth doing. I would 100% say you got to just play or complete 4 of the 5 different objectives there and you get that one done. Of course, we have the seasonal objective that is out, but then as you move down the line, we have, which also, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounded like the Challengers objective did not refresh or repeat for some people yesterday, for those who were in Challengers. So hopefully you're able to play that. But we also had the Paredes objective yesterday, which gives 3,000 SP. EA's finally giving out the SP, which is super duper nice. You got to use some Argentine Premier Division players here, some Serie A players, and just winning 4 in rivals or winning 8 in squad battles. Complete 4 of the 5 following. So at level 40, I'm hearing is actually possible now. From what I've heard from a lot of people with the SP that is dropped, at least level 35 is becoming more possible, and level 40 is becoming possible as well, which is pretty crazy at this time after we had like not that much SP for such a long period of time. EA is finally catching us up. Now, let's get to the real content, right? Evolutions, guys. Holy, we had maybe one of the best evos of the year yesterday. The Backline Glow center back evolution. It is max 80 overall and 84 pace for a center back with max 5 playstyles. And there are some gems that you can create from this for sure, none of which are really in my club right now as you look at the players that I have here. But the boost that this gives on top of the cards that are already looking decent as 80 rated center backs, not really in the power curve anymore, they're looking great after this boost. I love the Defender Plus, I love the Jockey, and I love the block playstyles being added. And even the reaction stat, the agility, the defending, all the boost that this gives. Look at the cards it's creating, man. This Agbadu is 100% the most popular card right now through evolutions. I actually used his gold card for the first week of the game, and he was pretty solid. Plus 5 pace on top of this, up to 86 physical and 84 defending. Absolutely nuts card, and still only 84 rated with those stats. That's a really solid looking card that could fit into future Evos too. He's one of the top cards from this. Zabarni from PSG, Calafiori, Asensio. There are so many great cards that go into this evolution, and it's only 10,000 coins. 100% worth it in my opinion, guys. Maybe not for your main team, but maybe it's for your second or your third team, and we have Gauntlet incoming on Monday once again. So building out those second and third squads are going to be pretty important. So that is a very nice Evo there for 10,000 coins. We also had a free Evo yesterday called the Ball Distributor. +4 vision, +3 short and long pass, up to 83 for all those stats. So nothing super crazy there, but that one is free as a part of evolutions yesterday. So that was our content there. By the way, I will say some of the gold cards for these players, specifically Agbadu, have gone up a ton in price. Just make sure you check your club that none of these players that are top Evo favorites here are selling for a lot of coins that you might be able to make some profit off of just for checking your club. Now, to SBCs we go, and we got to talk about the big one. The SBC on the day is Arda Guler, and I still cannot believe when I see this card. Of course, I've already completed it. I can't believe that this SBC is only 67,000 coins, an 83, 84 in a team of the week, and an 85 rated squad for this Arda Guler card that looks phenomenal. They gave him the 4-star weak foot boost. It was exactly the card that was leaked. We talked about it ahead of time. His playstyles are great. They gave him classic 10++, which I haven't tried. I'm going to have to do that with him in this squad. Again, great playstyles. He's got great stats, like an insane card for the price. This feels like the power curve moved up a little bit yesterday. I played 2 games of FUT Champs. He's got 2 goals and he's got 4 assists. His left stick dribbling is awesome. His passing is great. And his shooting, his finesse shots are very, very solid as well. I threw an engine on him just to boost up that pace, pass, and dribbling to the max amount that it could be. But this is just incredible. This is just one of those marquee SBCs that we were saying it might be 250 or 300,000 coins, and that was going to feel expensive. And then EA's like, here you go. This is basically free, man. This literally is free compared to a lot of the SBCs that we've had. And a lot of people like this too, I think, because it feels like an SBC price that is in line with the amount of fodder that we get from rewards, right? The rewards aren't that crazy, and it's hard to craft a Harry Kane, a Christian Pulisic player of the month, the Erling Haaland player of the month that dropped yesterday. But this is right in line with what we've got. You complete FUT Champs this weekend or even Challengers, and you're going to basically delete this SBC. Most people did yesterday from their club anyway. That is why it has 3,000 upvotes on FUTBin. Insane. Like, this is, again, like I said earlier, going to be one of the SBCs that we remember for a long time in this game. He's 86 rated with no playstyle plus, so it might be a while before we can put that onto his card. Some people, I think, are putting the cornerstones evolution on this item to give him a bit more chemistry. But I love this card design, by the way, and how it has kind of sort of a, you know, dynamic aspect to it with some colors moving and a little bit of a cosmetic variable to it. I think that's a nice added part to this promo so far as it has been released. But what this SBC did to the market, my goodness, center attacking mid cards are in the freaking mud. Florian Wirtz, right? 275,000 coins yesterday before the content drop. 190k right now. Musiala is a card that I tweeted about a few hours ago, and when I tweeted about him, he was still 80,000 coins. I think he's 60 something k now, 66k right now on the market. Center attacking mids, all the way from like icons all the way down to like really cheap cards, dropped in price yesterday. Now, sure, the market's dropping in general because we have FUT Champs rewards, and we'll get into that today. But center attacking mids are down way more than everything else on the market because of the fact this Arda Guler card is literally taking over. Now, on the flip side, you've got Madrid links that went up. Even with a market that is tanking, a lot of these Madrid links are higher than what they were yesterday before content. Eder Militao was a card that we were looking at, Courtois, stuff like that. These cards were dropping into content right before, like 30 minutes before the SBC was released. They started to skyrocket up, and there was honestly a lot of people invested in this, guys. I was buying some cards like, actually, I bought a Kamavinga's at like 17,000 coins. He was already up at like 2,000 coins per card from 15k to 17k, and he just didn't go any higher. So while the Madrid cards are holding their price, yesterday there was a lot of over investing on them, so they didn't go too much higher, right? And some of them have come back down. I actually just for 2 reasons. Picked up Rodrigo. This card I picked up for 50,000 coins because he links to Arda Guler. Sure, he does play right mid, right wing, which is also where Arda Guler has secondary and third positions, but he had a great performance for Brazil. He was man of the match in their game, and with the international break going on, he actually has a potential team of the week, and this dude was 60, how much? Yesterday, almost 60,000 coins yesterday, and he was 51k before content. He was one of the Madrid cards that dropped back down a good bit, so I picked a couple of him up, hoping that some of the Madrid links would rise back today as people are, again, building teams, playing weekend league, and using some of these Madrid cards. So keep a close eye on some of those cards today. Even though the market is tanking, those cards are still doing pretty good from where they were. Now, let's talk about the rest of the SBC content from yesterday. We already mentioned one other player SBC, which was the Erling Haaland Player of the Month. And man, like after you see Arda Guler, you got to really love Man City or Erling Haaland to want to do this. He does have the Enforcer Plus. He does have 93 shooting. He's going to be an absolute beast in game. He's got almost all finishing play styles. He doesn't have finesse or dead ball, but like look at all the other ones there. Kind of crazy to see that. And he's got Advanced Forward Plus Plus, but it's 8 different squads to get this thing done, and it does come in at a whopping cost of 622,000 coins. And we haven't talked about fodder yet in terms of SBCs. What this did for fodder was it actually made some of your 88s and your 89s, they dipped a little bit in value. Now, if you bought last weekend on these cards at 10,000 coins, you're still like, Nate, I'm still up big on these cards. And you are, but they were 15K yesterday if you sold in the hype on the 88s. So that was kind of their peak, but they're not down that much. If you want to keep holding on fodder, I think you can. We're going to have more SBCs. There's rumors of either a hero pick today and then that max 86 hero pack. Is it going to return as an icon pack this next week? You know, there's still questions about some of that out there. You still have, again, you have a Haaland Player of the Month out now. You've got a Kane. You've got a Pulisic. You've got all these SBCs, which are just naturally rising the amount of demand there is for fodder. So we're probably not going to see 10K for 88s once again, unless there's a crazy bit of supply that hits the market. So I think you can keep holding on to those cards and hope for more rises there, or you can sell at some point when they do have another spike in the next day or two and take the money. Reinvesting wise on fodder, ooh, it's kind of tough. I can't lie. I like maybe the lower tier. Honestly, 84s were 1.3, 1.4K. Now they're 1.6 to 1.7. That's because of Arda Guler. I think 85s, 86s are doing okay too. So if you want to invest there, I'd maybe focus on like this range where most of the SBCs are landing at this time is the 84s to 87s. You need another type of like, you need some 88 rated squads to make the 88s and 89s go up again. And probably the next thing to do that would be an icon pack, which is not 100% confirmed yet, but I wanted to talk about fodder for a bit there. Also yesterday for content, we had the Team of the Week upgrade, which is actually maybe a little more popular than in previous weeks because we're starting to see more Team of the Week requirements in SBCs. That's just an 84 rated squad. And the Red Bull Challenge, I think is a must do. I haven't done it yet myself, but this is a small rare gold players pack. It's pretty easy to do. And that's a pretty nice tradable pack for a small challenge SBC right there. A little hashtag ad, I guess, from Red Bull with the objective and that SBC from yesterday. Interesting to see. Now, let's talk about ratings, reload cards, impacts, and get into the market a little bit. Guys, these cards, they look just as crazy as they did when they were leaked. These items, man, like that's just the stats. It is the stats that make these cards look insane. The Alvarez card here, 1.1 million coins. I actually just traded him a couple of hours ago, bought him at 1.03, sold him at 1.13. The Olise has absolutely tanked. I'm actually losing a bit of coins in this card right now. I thought I was timing the flip right. I bought him right at 500,000 coins. I think he's like 460. He is really rare, and it looks like he is coming back up. But like, these cards started off super rare yesterday. In the store, there really wasn't much. There was a couple of those 4U packs, which I think even, what is it, a 20,000 coin pack that was released there. I don't think that's worth it in my opinion. The store was just mostly untradeable packs, and these cards were very high priced. They were very rare until the FUT Champs rewards hit, and now they're dropping a lot in price. The biggest story with this team is it's probably going to crash the rest of the market, as we kind of predicted that it would, because you got big name players in here, big stat boost, and prices that are semi-obtainable. Eki TK and Oscar Bob are also the big story with this team. These guys were extinct. Eki TK was extinct at 500,000 coins plus, and he got a price range update, and he got flooded on the market after that. Same thing with Oscar Bob, who was 130,000 coins, and what is he right now? he is back down to 100K. I think he actually just was 90,000 coins, and maybe he got bought back up a little bit. But these cards have a lot of hype around them, absolutely, but also they have a lot of supply. I'll be very careful trading them today. It's all about timing. If you can catch these cards on their low, like I said, Oscar Bob was just 95,000 coins. He's back up right now to just over 105K. And then, you can make some profit if you catch the low point, because early today on Saturday, there is going to become a point where these cards probably get too low and rebound a little bit, but I think they're going to go lower later tonight on Saturday. So be careful if you're going to trade with any of these cards. Like I said, I have the Olise. I'm hoping that he bounces back up over 500 so I can take the cash and get out on that card and minimize my losses for my sort of failed flip. But then I'm going to sell that card because I don't want to hold on to it later on in the day. I would just look at all of these cards in that same way. Great promo team. And this is another reason why I think this promo team is going to crash the market as well. Look at the state of this Tovan card. I know that we have the Arda Guler, right? And he's cheap. But like this card is almost as good as Arda Guler, and he's 20K. That's an insane card that a lot of people are going to say, I'll just go and use this instead of using another gold card in this game. And that's where I feel like the market's going to get hurt the most. But I do believe these cards, after a slight rise today, will probably be dropping. They are decently rare on the market because there's a lot of untradeable packs, and they are in demand a lot. It's a lot of interesting players, but I do believe it's going to keep hurting the market. And the market yesterday was really an uncertain place. I think that's kind of the best word to describe it. We did have a little bit of a Friday night bubble. Some of the La Liga cards did the best yesterday in the hour to 2 to 3 after content, as people were building La Liga links up with the Arda Guler and other Madrid cards. Like you see Rafinha here, 320 up to 360. He was one of the better spikes in price that you had yesterday. Salah was over 400,000 coins. Now he's back down. But what we expected to happen after that little bit of a bubble is happening too, and you're seeing prices that are dropping back down on the market as weekend league rewards are hitting and are supplying cards. It's kind of the same story as last week. Maybe not as drastic, but I still believe what happened last week as well, with prices dropping even further later Saturday night into Sunday, is going to happen this week as well. So I'd be very careful buying cards today. Quick flips only. Again, I'm actually broke as a joke right now. I've got 7,000 coins. I invested in the Rodrigos, as I mentioned, and I also picked up some Frimpongs just because I'm here for literally like this Rodrigo, hopefully going up to like 55 to 57K, hopefully like 57, because bought at 50, sell at 57, that's 5K profit-ish per card. I will take that, right? Frimpong was like 30,000 coins plus yesterday, and this is a card that people just wake up and use on Saturdays. That's the way that I see it. So I was picking him up 22,000 coins with good chem styles, and we'll just try to trade with him today and make some profits off of that. I didn't want to risk it as much on these cards. Usually I do, but then I saw the Olise situation. I was like, I don't want to mess with that. But I think you can have a bit of an opportunity to trade today. Like, let's just, again, show on a graph what I'm kind of talking about. Last week, Ryan Gravenberch, if we look at the last week graph, on Friday, we had that nice spike last week, and then boom, prices tanked. Early Saturday, late Friday night, technically, for some areas around the world, he hit a low point. And then Saturday morning, he rose from 70,000 coins, 69K, 70K, up to 78,000 coins. Boom. That's what I'm trying to trade in today. I think if you're watching this video early, you can get involved in some of that. Just pick meta, pop with your gold rares. Maybe some La Liga cards will do better today because of Arda Guler. But then look what happened through the rest of the day. Bang. He just absolutely got crushed with a whole bunch of panic and a bunch of supplies. People open their FUT Champs rewards. Again, we're seeing the same kind of thing this week, hoping to see that little bit of a bounce today. But then how much further is it going to fall later tonight on Saturday? That's the worry that I have right now. You can trade, but watch out for more drops today. And also, if you're going to buy your team, play champs, and then sell it and be done with it. That is my advice for you, because the cards are still moving on the market, and you can really minimize the amount of coins you lose by just selling your FUT Champs team and buying it in certain times, but then selling it before you get off so that you don't lose coins. It's annoying to have to be able to pay attention to prices that much, but especially if you're just buying players for your team and you're going to play for an hour or two, like, it can save you a lot of coins on the weekends when prices are mostly just dropping. Same thing with out of packs cards. Look at Ronaldo. He's under 1.2 million coins. Claudia Pina had the big drop off yesterday on her gold card, as was expected. And even some of these, like Stiller was 50K yesterday. Now he's 42,000 coins. Oyarzabal was 80. Now he's 60,000 coins. Tillman was, I believe, even 50K. He's now 38K. Those are a lot of cards, though, that dropped because of the center attacking mid position. Just the tie there, of course, to the Arda Guler. So the market right now is not looking great, but we're picking our spots for some hopeful trades. And we will hopefully see a few rises today before some drops later into the day today. Now, a part of the market where we've been preparing that is really going to have a bit of interest today is silvers, guys. Yesterday, EA dropped this live event out of nowhere. The only hint that we had was the fact that there was an Evo added to the code and leaked a couple of days ago about a silver warm-up. And that's exactly what this is. Starting today, guys, we have the first silver tournament of FC 26. It is max chemistry and it's solo and co-op. I like that. This is a great intro way to use silver players for the first time in this game. Max chemistry, so you can just try different players out. Like, I had a bunch of silvers in my club that I was kind of investing in for this very sort of situation and for the World Tour Silver Superstars League. But those silver price rises may be coming early today. I think today, before the content drop, you're going to see silver prices rise a good bit as people get ready for this and as they build and buy players for teams for this tournament today. Now, we don't know what the rewards are just yet. We may have a little bit of a guess, but this is kind of what I've got right now. I just went out and picked up some players that have good play styles. Guys, focus on stats, but also play styles too. This guy, Lewis Morgan, 350 coins I paid for him. He's got a 5-star weak foot. He can play striker, cam, and left mid. He's got finesse, rapid, and incisive. For 350 coins, I'm freaking down. This guy, Tutinho, has got finesse, incisive, rapid, low-driven, and game changer. He's 3-3 striker and cam. I'm going to put Charlton in there at that cam spot right there. He's going to be great. This Langas is a great center back. There's tons of great silvers out there, all right? I will tell you, this might be one of the best ones in the game. Look at this state of 7 play styles on a 74 rated Cognat with decent stats too for a silver. So he's absolutely in my team. And again, it's max chemistry, so I don't have to worry about any of this. But watch these silver cards today. They're already starting to go up on the market. Some of the cards that are normally like extinct are 8 to 9 to 10,000 coins, like El Yamik. He's starting to go up in value, and he's probably going to be extinct at some point today just because this is a card that just about everybody wants to use in their team to be the most competitive. But once again, you saw that this has a co-op mode as a part of it. So if you don't have a 6 silver team, or if you haven't been buying players for this, you feel behind, you can just squad up with a friend, you can play co-op, and you can get this done as well. Of course, it all does depend on how good the rewards are to really know if it's going to be a worth it mode to play. But there's a lot of hype for this because we've been looking forward to silver tournaments. That was one of the key things we were wanting to see with this tournament mode and live events inclusion in FC 26. So watch out for silvers, probably sell them maybe before the tournament starts in the hype, in that period of build-up before the actual tournament releases. Today on Saturday, we should see the re-release of those bronze and silver upgrade packs, which do supply the market tradable with these cards. See, they refresh on Saturday. The 80 plus times 5 is going to refresh today while we're here, but this could supply silvers a little bit and make some prices drop. So if you invested in silvers, which I know a lot of us did, definitely keep an eye. You can keep the ones in your team that you want to keep, but like I bought 2 of this guy Gomez. I bought him for 2,800 coins. Did I just see a bid of 5K? That's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for cards like this that have gone up a ton in value. Hopefully he goes even up further today on the market. Same thing with my favorite silver, Sir Lord Conte. I think I'm just going to put him into my club, actually. I bought him for 1,200 coins. He's probably going to sell for like 3 to 4K today. So that is a situation with silver cards right now. Check your clubs today. If you invested in those, you're going to be making a lot of coins. And I mentioned we don't know what the rewards are. There's this silver warm-up Evo. It just feels like it has to be a part of the whole equation for whatever rewards we're going to be getting today from this tournament. Again, it's more of an exhibition tournament, so it seems like it's going to be an unlimited number of games played. And it's just, again, more like a friendly mode live event and less of like a white knuckle, actual crazy competitive tournament. Hopefully it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to playing this along with Weekend League and Foot Champs this weekend. So watch out for that first silver tournament of the year. I hope the rewards are decent. But let's talk about the rest of the content coming today on Saturday. One of those things would be this hero pick right here, because last Saturday we had the hero pick with Beasley, Scott, and with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And here we have a hero pick with Guti, Poppin, and Bomb Pastor. Should come as an SBC soon. This was leaked a couple of days ago. Since the other one was out last Saturday, we're expecting this one to be out this Saturday. Actually, I'm just going to check in SBCs. When does that other player pick expire, if it's still available? Maybe it already expired. I'm checking really quick. No, it expires today. Base hero match day pick expires at content. This one probably is going to replace it. Now, Guti is looking great right now with links to the Arda Guler. And since he's around, or was around 120 to 130,000 coins when this was first leaked, the question is, how much is that SBC going to cost today? And hopefully it doesn't cost more than around 110 to 120K. How much is he right now? He's 93. I think his price actually got hurt yesterday because of Arda Guler. Bomb Pastor might still be around 120. Where's she at? Oh, 103,000 coins as well. Hopefully that makes this SBC a little bit cheaper too, because Guti plus Arda Guler would be fantastic for La Liga links there. That's why I'm going to sell my La Liga links that I bought, the Real Madrid players, before the content drop today, before this comes out. So if that's an SBC player pick that feels worth it to you, you'll have a chance to do that today. We have other SBC players that are leaked still as well here. Interestingly, a good amount of Prem inside of here. You've got the Semenyo and Bakayoko player pick. Those two are going to be together. You've got a Mateta SBC that actually is going to be kind of meta in game, I think, guys, because I've used his gold card and played against his gold card, and it's kind of crazy. This Agurd and Gay is a player pick. You've got Ju from West Ham, Sule, and Bethune as well. So those are all the objective and SBC players that are still kind of out there for the taking at some point during the first week here of Ratings Reload. None of them are as close to Arda Guler, let's be completely honest. But what a freaking card this is, man. I still cannot believe that EA dropped that SBC yesterday, and the fact that it cooked the market so much, and for how cheap they made it. Like, that, it's a W, I know. Like, that was not expected at all. We could just keep talking about this for ages because it's just so surprising to me. It is a W that they released that SBC at the price that they did, but it was probably the least expected thing on this game for sure. Also, of course, it's a day for FUT Champs. Apart from the silver tournament, that's where everybody's going to be playing, getting some progress there. And once again, just one more shout. Make sure you're thinking about your Gauntlet, Ultimate Gauntlet 2. Doesn't look like there's any specific requirements with this one, except for your squad must be replaced each round. So that's coming on Monday. A lot of gameplay stuff going on right now, especially with the new patch. We'll get very accustomed to that very soon. So that's going to be the video for me today, honestly, guys. I'd love to hear how your weekend league's going. I'd love to hear how your team buys and how your trades are going. It was a rough day. Fridays are becoming kind of rough days to trade and make coins with like quick flips. And it's more so just kind of getting involved in investments and stuff like that. And hopefully if the market drops a lot today on Saturday, we can look at investing late Saturday night and tomorrow on Sunday with squad battle rewards, and maybe the market will mimic the trends that we saw last week. We can make a lot of profits on buying on Sunday and holding into the week like it just worked this past week heading into this promo. So we're going to talk about that more tomorrow. Of course, we'll be following that. But again, have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy your champs as much as you can. Best of luck on rewards. I hope you guys pack something sick. Tweet me if you do, and I will see you guys on another video tomorrow on Sunday. If you enjoyed this one, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. Appreciate you guys. See you on Sunday. It's been TheFutAccountant. Have a great weekend. Peace.